Probably, I would say Martin, because the way they're with their friends, and then the way they are together. Martin's just crazy. Jermaine's crazy. Always making her laugh, and always has some crazy something to say to all of his friends, and just he's that person that kind of holds everybody together, but he's also that person that drives everybody crazy.
Yeah. Or I continue. No, I'm just kidding. That would be. I'm just kidding. You can edit that.
Blooper reel.
Blooper reel, yeah. Put that on the end.
We met the first day of high school. Well, my first day of high school. 2001. My freshman year, first day of school. We met this guy.
Yeah, I was coming back to school. I was at another school, and it was my first year really back to Douglas County High School. So she was with a friend. She was with a friend of mine that I knew that used to stay down the street from me. And then I was like, damn, who is that? Who's your friend? And then from there,
said, leave her alone. Don't talk to her.
Yeah, from there I started chasing her basically. Just got to know her and then just kicked it.
He got my attention because I like to laugh, and he's a funny person just naturally. And he would always, I just called it aggravating at the time. He still kind of aggravates me from time to time, but in a good way. And he would always come in my first, remember Miss Worthy's class? He used to always come in one teacher's class, the first class of the day, and he was selling candy, but I always got my candy for free. That was always fun. Twix or Reese's or something. There was always some candy. He was always trying to do something. And that was the way he always got my attention. He came by that class at least 4 to 5 days a week. So
I had to sell my candy.
That's all?
It's all about supply and demand. Yeah, that's how we met. And then from then it's been on. We've been together for 10 years. I think I probably asked her, can I take her out? So. But
my dad was not having it at all. Yeah. He was a senior, I was a freshman, so my dad was like, no. No. I couldn't go to his senior prom. There was none of that going on. I mean,
I wasn't going to the senior prom though.
No, but he would have won if I could go. I just think we took it slow. We would just kind of hang out. It really wasn't dating back then. We would just hang out from time to time and talk on the phone every day. And we saw each other at school. And then after he graduated, I was obviously still there, but we, never really missed a beat. We kept in touch the whole time and pretty much just kind of grew from there. And we've been best friends the whole time. We're just really good friends first before anything else. And still to this day, that's what comes first with us. I think it's just friendship. We've been together 10 years, and the whole time we've probably only broken up maybe once or twice, and it probably never lasted longer than a couple of weeks. Really never. And I think every time we knew we'd be back together, but it was like, we're breaking up, but we really didn't break up. He likes to learn and explore and try to find out new things about himself, about us, about life, and I really admire that. And it's something I didn't see before, but a lot of times I come home from work and the TV's not on, he's just reading a book. And it's kind of sexy just to have a guy that's just reading a book.
When stuff goes down, I knew she'd be there, but she's calm under pressure. I put it through a lot of styles, putting it through a lot of mess. So, she found a way to handle me to the point where I'm not gonna let him just drive me crazy. We're gonna work together and we're gonna make this work,
The weekend I graduated high school, I graduated on a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday. Could have even been a Friday. I don't know. That weekend, it was Memorial Weekend. And that weekend, I remember I was with my parents out on like that Saturday night. We were at a friend's house. Kind of everybody was just celebrating high school graduation, that kind of thing. And I didn't hear from him that night. And then the next morning, I remember going to church, came back from church, and I had a lot of missed calls on my phone from his sister. And I didn't know what was going on. I still had not heard from him. So I finally called her back, and she said, Jermaine's in the hospital. He's in a really bad accident. I said, okay. But she never went into detail. I didn't know what was going on. But she said he's in a really bad accident, and you need to come to the hospital. So, of course, I went to my parents. We were actually getting ready to go somewhere else. I said, we've got to get to the hospital. Jermaine's in the hospital. So I get there, and I found out he'd been in an extremely bad accident. He was in the middle of surgery at the time. He had been through like probably an 8 or 9 hour surgery, completely reconstructive. It was just a really, really bad accident. And I mean, his jaw was wired shut. He couldn't talk for a long time. He was in ICU for probably about a week. Couldn't talk to him. He could only write notes. And it was really difficult because that week I was actually supposed to leave to go on my high school graduation trip with my family to Jamaica. And I just remember it was just so hard for me to leave because I could just see the family was just so broken and so torn up, and everybody was taking it very hard. I was taking it very hard. It was a difficult time for me. Sorry. Because it was hard for me to leave him there in so much pain. And he kept writing me notes just saying he's okay. But it was just really difficult because I just care for him so much. And that's probably also one of the times when I realized how much I loved him. I knew we were great friends, and I knew that that he was somebody special. But when you see somebody laying there so vulnerable and they can't do anything for themselves, and he was still in ICU, and I had to leave to go catch a flight, a couple days later, I just wanted to be by his side, and it was really hard. So I just remember I would call home, probably spent so much money just making phone calls from Jamaica back to Atlanta all the time, like that whole week, just checking on him to make sure he was okay. And they kept me abreast of everything that was going on. And when I came back, he was doing a lot better. He was at home at that time, but I just remember it was just very difficult for me to see him like that. And it took a long time for him to kind of bounce back, but now you can't even see the scars. I think they're there inside, but he's doing so much better. And it was just a really tough time for us, but that's probably the moment when I knew that he was somebody that really meant something to me, because it was more than just a friend that was hurt. It was somebody that was very special.
Yeah, she used to come over and just lay, because I had my jaws wired for like 6 weeks. So she used to just come and lay. You can talk through it. You can't move your jaw, but you can rumble like this and you can get stuff out after a while. But she just stayed there with me. She always used to come over, stay, just look after me. If I needed anything, she was there for me. So I knew she'd be there. And plus, I was, what did Kanye say? I was looking like Tom Cruise on Vanilla Sky. I was like, man, my whole face was just disoriented. Let's just say that. So it took a while. Like everything was swole. It takes a while for everything to go down. So she was just sitting there, kissing the knots on my face and stuff.
I just feel like we've been together a long time. We've been through a lot in our relationship, personally and then also together. And we've just kind of been there for each other. We've had things that kind of keep us apart, but we always come back together. And I feel like any fairy tale you see, any Disney movie or anything like that, there's always that time where there's interest, but then there's always something that pulls you apart. But at the end of the day, they always end up together. And that, to me, is us. We've always just found comfort in each other, and he helps me through everything, and I hope I can help him through whatever he's going through as well. We just kind of balance each other out, and it's almost as if it's just meant to be, because there have been things to try to keep us apart, but we always seem to just bounce back and always end up together. So that's why I always feel like it's a fairy tale. I just enjoy being around him, and I feel like he enjoys being around me too. I enjoy the silly stuff, and also just when we're just being just together. We enjoy just spending time with each other. We're best friends before everything else, and I'd rather spend time with him than anybody else. I mean, or do anything else. If we're together, I'm always happy. So I think the common bond between us is just the fact that we just enjoy each other's company, and we're not hard to please. We're very laid back, very easygoing. We both have big personalities, but we know when to scale it back, and just to be, when we're together, we don't try to outshine each other. It's just, we're one, and that's a good feeling to have.